It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
What a great place to be. All right, this next question. This looks like it's French. Not the question, the name.
Oh, I was about to go. I don't speak French.
I'm going to spell it for you. Then I'm going to say it the way that I think it is.
Okay.
It's JOUR''DAN. I'm going to say that's Jordan. I don't know if it's Jordan, but that's what I'm going to say. JOUR''DAN. Jordan. This is Jordan.
It's just like, in college, people ask me my name, I'd be funny and say, Jean-Brian Preston.
Right,
that's because you didn't put any of that into that. If that is French, you totally missed all the rollings and everything else.
Maybe it's Southern. That's just how he spells it. I love it.
You be you.
So this is what Jordan said. We are maxing out all of our tax advantage accounts and have additional income left over. Being a high-earning family, would you recommend doing 100% Roth 401k? Right now, we're doing 50% Roth and 50% traditional. Or would you put the extra money in the taxable account? This is the kicker right here. We plan on having a lower income in retirement. Thank you. So they're in a high income situation now. They plan on being a lower income now. Should they put all of their money into Roth, or should they do something else? And with whatever's left over, the excess, what should they think about doing with that?
Well, I mean, a lot of the scenarios were answered, a lot of the variables we would need in the decision matrix. I will say I don't know what their tax rate is, but I'm assuming to be able to max that out, they're probably in a higher tax rate right now, but they're thinking they can keep their expenses or what they'll need in retirement rather low. Man, that is setting up a nice Roth conversion strategy. Because realize, especially if you're planning on retire pre-72, I mean, so if somebody was retiring in their 50s, you might have over a decade that you could legally manipulate the tax code by pulling out just a little bit out of retirement money, having your after-tax brokerage account, having your Roth accounts, where you figure out where you want your taxable income to be for the year, and then you cherry pick off of each one of those three bucket strategies. That's powerful stuff. So that leads back to what's the decision you make now is, first of all, look, are you paying respect to the three buckets? Because if you know you're retiring early and you know you're going to have a lower income situation where probably from a tax standpoint, yes, rates might be higher, but my guess is even though rates will be higher, if your income's low, I don't think they're going to put the burden of the taxation on lower income individuals. So you'll probably still be in a lower tax rate. How do we maximize that? So there might be an opportunity especially if you're in that 30% and beyond, if you take into account your state income taxes and your federal income taxes, add those together. If you're 30% or greater, you might still want to take the traditional now. And then so you get that opportunity to arbitrage it in retirement. Or if you think that retirement taxes are going to be higher, whatever, slide the rule up to whatever rate you think is appropriate. Is it 30, 35%? But that's traditional. The zones between 25 and wherever you think it is, that's kind of the gray zone. And then anybody who's in the lower than 25%, and especially if you're younger, I love Roth savings for that because we all know tax rates probably going to go up in the long term. There's lots of commitments and obligations of the government. They're going to have to come up with it from something, and it's probably going to come from additional taxes.
A lot of my higher income folks, because I've run across friends all the time that are higher income and they're doing 50% Roth and 50% traditional. And one of the things I walk them through is based on their tax rate, based on the state in which they live, I just calculate how much that 50% Roth is costing them from a tax burden each year. And I say, it's really interesting. If you were to switch all 50% to 100% pre-tax, there's a chance you're going to save enough money that it would fund a backdoor Roth for you, that you'd actually be able to save more by doing that. So you kind of have to run through that for your own personal situation and circumstance. And then I think the interesting thing is that, okay, well even if I max that out, whether I'm doing 100% Roth or 100% pre-tax, what do I do with the excess? Well, our opinion is if you're maxing out the 401ks and you're following the FOO and you've done your HSA and you're doing your Roth IRA or backdoor Roth IRA, until you get up to 25% of your, get a savings rate of 25%, we think there's nothing wrong with building up that third bucket, that after-tax bucket, and just dumping money into a regular brokerage account. It's going to grow. It's going to be money that you can use not only for retirement, but also if you're going to retire early in that bridge period that you talked about. And it's money that you're going to have there on the sidelines, available, not on the sidelines, they're available and accessible, not housed inside of retirement accounts. I think a lot of people are surprised to hear it's okay to build up a taxable account. They want something else, some other magic thing, some other special vehicle. There's nothing wrong with building that bucket, because oftentimes in retirement or at financial independence, that bucket is the most valuable because it gives you the most flexibility.
Yeah, without having to get into crazy, all the T rules and everything else to get access before 59 and a half. I do love having that diversification, not just of your assets, but your tax diversification with the 3-bucket strategy.